Hello and welcome to this tutorial in Small Basic. Today we'll be learning how to write text to the screen and how to create and store information in variables. So to start with, we write text window. Now as I'm typing, you'll notice this little box comes up, you can see here. Now what I can do is use the arrow keys on the keyboard and press enter. That's called IntelliSense, and it just means you can type the code a lot quicker. Now the next thing I need is a full stop, and I want to write a line of text, so I'm going to use the arrow key, press enter, get it automatically, open a bracket, open a speech mark, and I'm going to write the question. So, hello, like so. And notice I've also closed the speech mark and closed the bracket. Now I can test my code. We've written a line of code, so let's test it as we go. It's always good practice. Run it by pressing F5, and as you can see, my text prints successfully to the screen. Hello, what is your name? Now to finish the program, I can just press any key on the keyboard, or I can click the X, or I can even click on the end program. And that takes us back to our text editor. Now the next thing I want to do, I've asked a question, but I actually want to store the answer to this question. Now I can do that by making a variable, which is like a storage box in memory for whatever information I want to store and possibly use later. So here I just go name, because it's always sensible to name a variable after the kind of information that's going to get stored in it. In this case it's a name, so I'm calling my variable name. I could call it n, for example, but it's good programming sense to name it to reflect the kind of information. So I've chosen name, and now I can do text window dot read this time, and that will basically it will read whatever's in the text window that's entered in by the user, and it will store it into my variable called name. Now the next thing I can do is write one final line of code, text window dot write line again, and let's just put a little welcome message. So welcome, I'm going to put a space here, you'll see why, and then I'm going to also use the name variable like that and close the bracket. Now you'll notice what I've done here is slightly different from what I did in the top line. I've said welcome, I've closed the speech mark here, I've used the plus symbol, and the variable name has not gone in speech marks. Now this is because this is just text we're printing to the screen, but this line of code is saying add the contents of the box in memory, which we've called name, to the end of this line of text, technically known as a string. So let's run that and see if this works. Right, so hello, what is your name? I'm going to pretend I'm called Bob, and you can see it welcomes me to the screen. So have a practice at this, and what you could do is even extend on the code by asking a couple more questions. For example, hello, what is your favourite movie? Choose a variable name like movie equals textWindow.read, and then you could perhaps use textWindow.writeLine, I'm glad you like, close speech marks, plus movie, and print back to the screen the choice of movie they've selected. I'll have a go, have some fun, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.